Hey, ladies and gents, it's Izdoiz, coming to you with more than anything, a remembrance of a friend of mine, Mike Dimayuga. Mike passed away 6 years ago. He was a comic book artist. He was a good friend, wonderful person, son, brother, uncle, friend, and artist, all of those things. So, just thinking about him and thinking about the Dimayuga family on this day, the 6th anniversary, and wanted to show them something and that I think that they'd get a kick out of and that Mike would get a kick out of. It's Colt Noble and the Megalords War Man. Okay, it's a Goliath compatible action figure that just came out. I picked this up at PowerCon, and I'm a fan of Goliath, but I just really got a kick out of the fact that they made a figure out of this obscure character in a comic book, one of the comic books that Mike Dimayuga worked on. He was the artist on this edition of Colt Noble and the Megalords, written by Tim Seeley. And I think this was how Tim Seeley got on the radar as far as doing all the work that he's done with Masters of the Universe, because this was a parody of Masters of the Universe. It was really, really well done. There are other people in here like Ben Spencer that have done Goliath figures. But Mike was very, very proud of this. He did a really good job. If you get a chance, nobody drew beautiful women quite like Mike. So if you get a chance to check this out, it's very funny. It was a great job by Tim and Mike to get that out. Now, Mike had a short career, but it was pretty successful. He also did Hero House with Justin Acklin. Some of you might remember him from the magazine, Toy Fair magazine, where he worked. And that was another comic book that Mike did that he was very, very proud of. So if you guys get a chance to pick that up, I'm sure that it's still available. But let's look at the action figure. So imagine my surprise finding this just out of the blue. So I knew I had to get it. And this is the figure here. If you're familiar with the Goliath system, they're mix and match, so you can make a ton of other figures out of this block by snapping off their arms and legs. The Goliath system was created by Matt Dowdy, who's another friend of mine. And so as you can see, all the arms and legs and all of that is movable. Okay, so they're little guys, right? But they come with nice paint, nice and crisp paint. And there have actually been 42 different people or projects that Matt Dowdy's collaborated on. And so obviously this one's near and dear to my heart for the connection to Mike. But as you can see, he comes with different hands. He comes with different heads. So you can pop the head off and you can get this, you can put on this kind of cobra guy. So it's not completely faithful to what it was like in the comic, but it's still a lot of fun to play with. And obviously, this is not a major comic book that everybody would know or a major character that everybody would know. So there's another alternate head. So that's 3 and 4 different heads. So you can pop and swap them. different arms. Here's a large sort of mechanical arm, and there's a smaller mechanical arm here. So I hope there's enough light to do this justice, but those of you who know Goliath are familiar with the way it works. It's also got a second mechanical arm, or I guess this would be a third one, with sort of a pincer on it. So, and then he's just loaded up with weapons, a machine gun, and for some reason, a police baton. So, yeah. Very happy to have this addition to my Goliath compatible family. Obviously, he's near and dear to my heart. The other thing I want to say about Mike is that his influence is still being felt in the comic book industry. He was part of a group of friends. I was in it as a writer, and then there was some other artists out of Stockton, including a very, very good friend of Mike's by the name of Ramon Villalobos, and he's one of the up-and-coming stars working for Marvel and working for DC. Here's Border Town, a series that he did that was quite a splash. But Ramon told me that, that Mike was the first person that he actually saw have success in the comic book industry, so that went a long way as far as inspiring him to continue working, and Ramon is doing better and better, doing amazing work, and carrying on that legacy and that influence that Mike left behind. So Mike, we were honored and privileged to have met you, to have been your friend, and to you and your family. I want to thank you, for everything.